Hey everyone, this is Terrific with another review, this time for the visual novel Our World Is Ended. I had a great time with this one and I can't wait to give you my thoughts on it, so without further ado, let's get started. In the beginning, the plot seems paper thin. In fact, if you judge the game by its opening scenes, the overwhelming amount of dialogue revolving around sexual themes and innuendo could convince you this is a visual novel that doesn't take itself seriously. Thankfully, the story is presented in a fashion that regularly communicates to the audience that there's more to the scenario than the first impressions may lead you to believe. Once you're established with the world and its narrative, you come to realise that Our World Is Ended is a polarising game that juggles two sides. On one hand, you've got the innuendo-filled, humorous and endearing side that keeps the mood positive. On the other hand, you've got a plot fueled by consequences and sometimes predictable plot twists that work to break up the positivity. The result of this constantly shifting dynamic is a narrative that managed to present both a respectable story and a down-to-earth slice-of-life type appeal without actually committing to either. All things considered, it does perform incredibly in both aspects, but balancing these contrasting directions does however come with a downside. Without committing to either, the story also can't excel in either. There were multiple times where the direction felt odd. Moments where the story delivered a tense atmosphere were often abruptly interrupted by poorly timed crude jokes, over-the-top character reactions, or anime discussions that are otherwise endearing, but in this case felt unwelcome. Nonetheless, what's delivered is a lovable experience that I not only enjoyed every moment of finishing, but also felt compelled to explore every route for. Early on, it can seem kind of difficult to engage with the cast. It's not a matter of bad designs or characteristics, but more that the members of Judgement 7, which is their group name, all encompass traits that have been done to death. You've got the classic tsundere, the ditzy but adorable airhead, the pervert who's always offering a laugh, so on and so forth. What you'll come to find though is that the beauty in the characters isn't in their given trope like most visual novels. Instead, the characters form a sense of unity as you progress, all offering their own personal attributes to the overall group setting, where no one fades into the background. Our World Is Ended doesn't act on the appeal of individual characters, it acts on the appeal of Judgement 7 as a whole, and it does it quite effectively. By the end of the story, you won't just feel like an observer of the story, but an actual member of the team. Even though Our World Is Ended does its best to paint a light and breezy atmosphere, it doesn't shy away from the deeper forms of character development. Despite being an upbeat, crazy bunch of misfits, the characters actually have a ton of rich characteristics. Throughout the story, you'll explore why the characters are the way they are. It's not just a classic case of an airhead being an airhead for the sake of it alone. There's reasoning, forethought, and in some cases past trauma that mould the members of Judgement 7 into what they are. The writers will make you care for these characters, and miss them when the game is over. Our World Is Ended has a running theme across all its imagery. All aspects of the design follow a bright, vibrant colour scheme that I can only describe as cooling in appearance. Even cement and building covered environments provide a slight hue of blue, pink or purple depending on the time of day. Of course, it's not just a fluorescent eyesore. The imagery contains darker colours too, but the darker colours are lightened up with splashes of higher shade to still fit the bright, calm mould. Despite sticking to brighter colours, they still manage to find a great balance of variation for characters to have the designs feel matching yet separated. Each character has their own colour style conforming to the cooling atmosphere, but not so much that they fade into the background. One design choice that could be somewhat controversial is the paint splatter effect that's most present whenever darker colours are used. This is clearly used to allow the usage of the blacker colours without breaking the bright colour theme. In all parts of the game, if a character is wearing a suit, leather or otherwise non-conforming colour, you can expect it to have a splatter of blue or the like to brighten it up. This is a take it or leave it design choice where you'll either appreciate the artistry of it or be bothered by the possibly distracting or unnecessary side of it. The character designs bring a lot to love. It's clear that a lot of time and effort has gone into their presentation as they accurately depict the personality of the character. Whether it's the bags under the eyes of the shut-in programmer, the short shorts of the spunky wild sound designer, or the majestic vests and silver mane of hair on the outrageous setting designer, you'll consistently find that the characters purely resemble who they are as a person. Our World Is Ended is a game that's in the middle of an identity crisis. Constantly at odds with itself, it can be hard to place your trust in it before it's had the chance to prove its value. Given the opportunity, you'll be shown exactly how a game can use a scattered identity as a positive aspect as the lovable band of misfits rope you into their world. I don't regret any part of the time I spent with this game, and if you can get past the occasional hiccup, I don't think you will either. Thanks for watching. You'll be seeing plenty more visual novels reviews on this channel in the future, so don't forget to subscribe for updates. See you next time.